welcome back to my channel. My name's Lizzie. I hope you're doing well out there. I hope you're feeling healthy and staying sane in these crazy times. Be sure if this resonates to you or if you like this reading to please give me a thumbs up below. Please hit the subscribe button. If you are feeling called to help my channel grow, I would greatly appreciate it. No pressure. This is what is your spiritual gift reading. We're going to get right into it. And the choices are Easter eggs because Easter is coming. So pile number 1, you are this cute little pink flower egg. Adorable, right? The old classic, put the candy jelly beans in. I love these eggs. Pile number 2 is the cute little green one. Kind of got that like Aztec vibe, doesn't it? And pile number 3 is the blue. I'm getting the Indian vibes. Not Native American, like from India. Alright, so pile number 1 is the pink flowers. Pile 2 is the green egg. Aztec type of vibes. And pile 3 is the blue Indian egg. So if you need more time, I'll hold them up for you. Pause it or get ready to pause. Oh Lord. Pink is 1, blue is 3. Pause it if you need more time. If not, we'll get right into pile number 1 and find out what your spiritual gifts are. Hi pile 1, you picked this cute little flower egg. I love flowers, so this would be the one I probably would have picked too. Alright. Let's get right into it. I haven't used this deck in a while. It's not one of my favorites, but we're going to use the Divine Feminine Oracle. Doesn't mean you have to be a feminine to vibe. You could be a Divine Masculine. It's still going to come out in your reading. I did shuffle these ahead of time, but I'll give it 1 just because it's been on the shelf for a little bit. I'm going to do your full spread and we'll get right into your reading. Oh, hello. They came right out. Perfect. Next up is, we'll go with the Power of Love Activation deck. I lost the box, but it looks like this. This was actually the first deck I ever got, and my mom bought it for me. Helping my channel grow. My mom was my *1 fan. She doesn't know anything about technology, or else she'd be a subscriber. I tried to teach her, and she's like, no, I don't want to know. She's not on Facebook. She works on the computer because she's a medical coder from home, but that's as much as she does on the computer. And she emails. She emails my aunts. That's it. Making magic is next. She don't want to learn. It took a good month to get my mom to know how to text. She will text. She likes texting better. Us kids, because there's so many of us, and she can send it out at one time. She will text, but she ain't on her phone all the time either. My mom doesn't barely watch TV. She's outside as much as she can until the sun goes down, and then she's on the computer doing her work, and she goes to bed. My mom is a very social butterfly. This time has been killing her because she's very active. Sitting home is, my mom hates it. She hates being home. Before all this happened, it was literally just a place to do her computer work and rest her head. She goes to her boyfriend's when she needs a change of view. We still go to a lot of parks. Now, another one, Divine Abundance. Like my mom, I could tell she had cabin fever because she was planning on all these, like, hike at Green Lake, which is a state park. Then we went to pick pumpkins at the pumpkin patch, and we spent all day out there. All this stuff, she's like, I just want to make sure everybody's okay and see everyone. And the only thing we can do stuff at is outside. But the winter months were hard because Central New York, there's not a lot to do in the fucking winter. Next is Life Purpose Oracle cards. My dad's pretty much the same way. Like, he watches TV at night, but he's not somebody that watches TV during the day. He's out doing stuff. He's got a man cave. He spends a lot of time in his man cave with his friends, drinking and just hanging out and doing whatever guys do, playing darts. I don't know what they do in there. I can go in there if I want, but it's definitely a man cave. I don't watch sports and stuff with them, or else I would go in there more. Last but not least, my handmade what are your spiritual gifts, or what kind of job should you have, too many, deck that I made. Like, if the kids only knew, like, I definitely had those parents that were like, is your homework done? Get outside! Don't come in until the street lights come on. Find stuff to do. Be active. Not because I didn't want to take care of this, but just came from a very active family, and they thought sitting in front of the TV was toxic to your soul. Which kind of backfired on them, because I watch TV all the fucking time now. But I'm also getting fat, so maybe they were right. Alright, let's get into your spiritual reading. Let's start here. Ooh, labyrinth. Could be good at puzzles. You could be a literal navigator. Transition to a higher level of being, raising your energetic vibration, enlightenment. You could have otherworldly knowledge. You could be very connected to spirit here. Ooh, fire. Very passionate. You could be a fire sign as well. The element of fire heralds new life, renewed passion, and positive transformation. So you either help other people transform, or you have overcome a lot in your life, which makes you spiritually inclined and connected to things like compassion and empathy more so than other people. You're a star, pal number 1. You have that star quality. People are drawn to you, that it factor. You could even be a celebrity of some sort. Oh, you make people happy. You're very loving. Or you could be somebody who's like works for eHarmony or brings people together. Relationship counselor, anything like that. But just feel like people come to you to find their happiness. You could be a guru of some kind. A healer, even. Woo! You could be a tarot card reader like me. Hello, my fellow gifted one out there. You could travel. This could be time travel. It could be you travel in the 5D. I always draw a blank on what this fucking shit is called. Astro project. You could do that as well. Or you're somebody who travels around like a public speaker. I'm getting those vibes as well. You practice spirituality a lot. You could be a sound healer here as well. Or you could write love music. You could heal and help people through music as well. You're somebody who changes their career as you advance. Like, I don't feel like you're content with one job forever. As you become more spiritually inclined, you change your job. Maybe you work with oracle cards. Maybe you're a musician. Maybe you travel around and do public speaking. You kind of like to have your hand in a lot of different things to feel satisfied. You need a challenge, for one, and you need to keep elevating yourself and learning. Or this career change could be like, for most of your life you were not a spiritual person, and for the rest of your life you will be. Focus more on spirituality, which happens to a lot. You know, a lot of mediums and psychics don't really come into their true power as who they are until they're in their 30s, like midlife. Just FYI out there. Like, you can know you're a medium from a very young age, but I feel like through life's wisdom and the learning curves you go through naturally, working your way to your 30s, you really become strong, more so when you were younger. You still can be strong when you're younger, but I just feel like from 30s and up, you just incline into a more calmer, spiritual person because of life wisdom and life experience. Woo! You could help people come to their spirituality. You enrich the world, that deepening connection. You have great empathy. Empathy is big for you, and compassion. You could help other people see, like going back to the labyrinth, you could not only wear the shoe on the other foot, but you can help other people see and understand what it's like for somebody else on the other side to bring that relationship back together. You're very strong. You're willing to walk through fire for people. You're willing to walk through fire for change. You're strong in your belief. You trust yourself. There's not much that you fear. Physically, you might have fear of getting your heart broken or things like that, but you're not afraid to face people. You're not afraid to face things. You will stand up to that shadow side. You could help people with loss, or you could have suffered great loss in your life, because I'm just feeling like an overwhelming sense of empathy and compassion. My dog is playing up there. You can tell they're like throwing and my dog's running. She's a fatty. But anyway, you could help people with grief. You could be a grief counselor as well. Oh my God. Got grief right after it. You help people with grief. You're a healer of the lost. It could be lost souls, or a healer of people who lost somebody. Help people see their worth, bringing that self-love, happiness back into their life, helping them to stand up on their own feet after they lose things and people. Yes, kindness. You are a vibrant little rainbow. You could be a rainbow child as well, I'm hearing. You're so sweet and gentle, and you have that approach that people just feel comfortable and safe, and they just view you as someone who's got their shit together and will help them. Like, they have all the confidence in you. If you say, hey, I'm going to help you through this, they believe you. They know that you're not going to leave them until you are. You help people detach from their loss, detach from negative thinking. You're a healer. Through and through, you're a healer. Yeah, you have great virtue. People are drawn to your virtue and your conviction, and you stand for something. And you stand for something, and people want to listen to what you have to say. You're a leader, a natural-born leader. Yeah, you're all about bringing people together. I'm just like getting that serious hippie vibe, like, hey man, why y'all fighting? And, tie-dye and everything. And I was raised by someone like that. I love that energy. That come together right now song is playing in my head. Alright, let's get into these weird goddess cards. I see the light in my own darkness. I face my ego beliefs to feel free. Helping people get out of their ego, get out of their pride, get out of their own stubborn way, and be better people. You bring the light. You're a light worker. Beautiful. Ooh, Mary Magdalene. I am the bridge between heaven and earth. I am fully human and fully divine. You're a medium. So much I learned about Mary Magdalene when I walked away from the church. I was raised Catholic, so going to church, there was only one Mary. Mary Magdalene was the woman who washed Jesus' feet with her tears. She was a prostitute. No. No. I mean, maybe she was a prostitute, but I honestly believe Mary Magdalene was Jesus' wife. And they had other children. I don't have a religion. I know I was raised Catholic, but I don't follow any books. I don't follow any order. I don't go to a church unless my family wants me to for holidays. I will, to make them happy, but I don't have a faith. I just listen to spirit, and I honestly, there was a lot more to Mary Magdalene than is written in a book. Just saying. I feel like Mary Magdalene was the first medium that helped Jesus transition. Jesus did a lot more than the book. I'm not going to preach to you. I'm not going to tell you what I believe, but I'm just saying that Mary Magdalene card came up, and I just wanted to express that, because I know that most religions try to bury her and belittle her as just some prostitute that didn't really mean much other than she washed someone's feet in tears, and there is so much more to her. But there's so much more to all of them. Aranade, Mistress of the Labyrinth. My soul knows the way, and the only way out is through. Yeah, you listen to your soul, you listen to your heart. You don't back down, you're strong. Like I said, you will walk through fire for what you feel you need to do. Again, talking about labyrinth, this is spirituality. You could walk through help people who are possessed and bring them back. You could get ghosts out of people's homes. Like, you're a powerful, badass medium, and good for you. and Anna, the queen of heaven and earth, I have nothing to hide. I see and accept all that I am. You don't hide your faults. You will openly embrace them. You're somebody that is very stoic about there's good and evil to everyone. Everybody makes mistakes. No one is without sin. Everybody fucks up. This is what you preach. Like, no one is better or worse than anyone else, because you have this higher spirituality, and I feel like you're a soul who's returned to this earth more than once. You could even be a general like me. All right, let's see. Spiritual general, anyway. What are your handwritten cards? We have CEO or CFO. You can run a company. You can organize the money. Natural born leader, like I said. You could literally be a business guru. You could be a dance teacher. There's that music coming in. There's a lot of spirituality in dance. If you just go with the flow and let your body move, it is the most freeing. It's like you're letting your soul out of a box that you normally keep caged most of the day. So I personally, a lot of different cultures and traditions have dancing for rituals. Native Americans, Indians, Chinese, Japanese. There's dance in everything. Sculptor, you could be an artist, build things with your hands. You're all about pulling your soul out of your body into things and moving people. Yeah, you could also be a youth counselor as well. I mean, I just love your vibes. Pile 1. 1, you're a healer. You're a powerful, badass, medium, psychic. I really don't think there's nothing stopping you. You can do whatever you want. You're a natural born leader. You figure it out. You read people well. And you help people, especially with grief. So, bless you, Pile 1. Thank God you are here. This world needs you so much. If this resonated, be sure to give this a like. Please hit the subscribe button if it's pulling to your heart. No pressure. I love you all. And I will see you next time. Thank you. Hi, Pile 2. You picked this adorable green egg, which I was vibing for that Aztec-like feel. Doesn't have to be. I tell you what I channel. Alright, so, didn't do anything ahead of time. I haven't used this deck in a while. It's not one of my favorites, but I figured I'd pull it out. You don't have to be a divine feminine for this to come through. It does pick out divine masculine energies as well. It's basically just a deck of goddesses. Also, my dog's having fun upstairs. Sounds like she's playing catch or fetch. Something. Maybe she finally took a nap. She was running around up there most of pile number 1. So if you hear a stampede, it's just my dog having some fun up there. Next is Life Purpose Oracle cards. She's got a lot of energy today. The moon made her very energetic and made me very sleepy. I was not ready to get up early in the morning, and she's like, come on, pawing me like, get up. So I took her to go potty, and then she still kept doing it. Like, I'm not ready to get up. I will take you for a walk when I wake up. She was like ready to go at like 5 in the morning. I'm like, no. Just because it's light out now doesn't mean mommy's ready to get up. God damn it. Next is Making Magic. She's very patient normally. She waits for me, but I hurt my back last Thursday, and I haven't been able to walk her. And today I was like, when I was laying down last night, I'm like, tomorrow I'm going to take you, because it's been a few days, and I'm feeling a little bit better, and we'll see how it goes. And it's like she remembered that. She's like, I get to go walking. I have all this energy. Let me out. Cabin fever, Mom. So I did take her for a walk, but I couldn't take her for as long because she tugs me, and she's like almost 100 pounds. and I don't want to hurt my back again. So we're going to have to do short walks throughout the day until I'm better. I think she's just happy she got out. Now she's up there playing. She should sleep good, like a little baby. She sleeps right next to me. She's my daughter, my four-legged fur baby, I call her. Next is the Power of Love activation. She won't go to bed unless I give her a good night kiss and I tuck her in. She's a dog. She'll literally kick me with her leg like, you didn't tuck me in and you didn't give me a kiss. This is bullshit. She usually like slithers in there, like right up next to my head for the first few minutes, and then she turns around and goes down by my feet. I love her. She saved my life, you know. She's my therapy animal. When I lost my babies, I gave all my love to her, and she gave me purpose again. Dogs can save your life. And my handwritten deck, and we'll get right into it. That's why I call her my spirit animal. She gave me my spirit back. Spirit sent her to me to give me my spirit back. I've always been close to a dog, but she's the first dog that I ever owned. My dad had dogs. My aunt had a dog I was very close to, but this is the first dog that was ever like mine. I'm the owner. My cousin had a dog I was close to. Always a dog. Alright, let's get right into... We'll go here first. Ooh, Happy Love came out for pile 1. A joyful, stable relationship and good friends. People are happy to have you in their life. You're a good source of advice. You could help people stabilize their relationships as in a counselor. Safe and happy travel. Protection from harm when journeying. Maybe you make talismans. Talismans? I don't know how to say that word. Maybe your insecurity as well. I'm getting those vibes as well. Ooh, sun, look at you. The golden energy of the sun brings fame and fortune. You are, I don't know how to say this. You got that fire, that sexiness, that star quality. You could be famous. Abracadabra with wings. You could be a magician, or you have gifts. Basically what it's saying. What kind of gifts? We will find out. Let's go here. Ooh, could be a spiritual teacher, shaman, life coach, anything like that. Therapist. Could be an artist, musician, painter, sculptor, anything that calls to your soul, any kind of artist. You're very creative energy. Hiccup, it's going to begin. You follow your heart's desire. You're somebody... Most artists like this, I feel, they need to be inspired to create. So they like scenery and ambiance. I feel like you're very connected to that. Your heart has to be content for you to create. You want to create a safe space to do your spiritual teaching as well. All about that aura and protecting energy and being relaxed. This also came out in pile 1. You might want to watch pile 1 as well, because I feel like you're both hand in hand here. But you're somebody who does follow their heart. You might want to put your hands in a bunch of different pots. Maybe you're a musician, maybe you're a painter, maybe you're an art teacher. Then you go be a counselor. Like whatever you feel pulled to do is what you're going to do. Also for pile 1, they suggested that maybe you spent most of your life not being very spiritual, and now in this day and age you are becoming spiritually inclined and following your spirituality over what other people expect of you, or maybe even what you went to school for here. Help people release feelings, emotions, bad energy, fears. teach people how to respect themselves, and you have a lot of respect for others, which I feel like people can sense. You have the respect to keep their confidence. You have the respect to stand, and you're not going to do someone dirty because you're very much do unto others as you would want done to you is one of your strongest mottos, I feel. You're very peaceful, and like I said, you need to help other people. You want to bring them into a peaceful place, but you also need a peaceful place to do your work. Well, I do feel like you are a peacekeeper by nature, a good mediator here. Yeah, you're following your purpose more so now than ever. Where you're feeling called to help is where you go. If your heartstrings are being pulled, you're going to go there and see what's up and see what you can do. You help other people awaken to their spirituality. They did say a spiritual teacher. You help people get out of their delusions. It's like helping people getting out of victim mentality, helping people get out of relationships that aren't going to grow or change or that aren't good for them. Delusions of this is what life is expecting of you. You're helping people realize, what do you want? You don't have to do what other people expect of you. What do you want? Get out of that delusion that just because you're a woman, you're supposed to be Betty Crocker, or just because you're a man, you're supposed to be the breadwinner. Those are caging illusions we tell ourselves, and people in our lives have told us. So you help people step out of the norm and figure out what they want. Yeah, deepening that connection. Also with Pile 1, I really feel like you should watch Pile 1 because you have great empathy and compassion. It goes hand in hand. It's like feeding right into Pile 2. You could help people with grief as well, like a grief counselor. Yemoja? I don't know how to say these goddesses' names. The goddess of all that flows. I am an ocean of creative energy. I give birth to what exists within me. Ooh, so maybe you're an art therapist. Maybe you help other people release their feelings in a creative way. Zhu Zanjing? The mystic of peace. I am peace. When my mind is clear, the way is clear. Yeah, you help people find their inner peace. I do feel like you're an art therapist. That could be through music. It could be through literal art, creative writing, any way to release the feelings that they have compressed and trapped within their body to have peace. And you give them an environment for them to feel safe in order to do that, which is beautiful. Yashi Taugal, Yashi Taugal, Lady of the Lotus Born. Embodiment is the deepest bliss. My body was made for enlightenment. It's like you bring people back to their temple, which is themselves. Teaching self-love. You could be a life coach. Teresa of Avila, Our Lady of the Inferior Life. I trust the answers I find within me. I know that the present of love is... Okay. You're definitely someone like me who gets downloads. Sometimes you just know things. And there's no explanation on how you could know it other than Spirit tells you. The information just appears within you sometimes. Not all the time. Sometimes you visually see it. But a lot of people have a hard time understanding this gift. Like, all the time people say, how do you know that? Like, I can't even answer that because I'm just verbalizing what I'm seeing in images in my mind or hearing from Spirit. They give me what I need to know in certain lines of work. It's a direct connection from Spirit to your mind. And only you and Spirit have that bond. No one else hears it or sees what you're seeing. So it's very hard to explain to people. The only people that really get it are people who have that gift, like me. Sometimes it just comes into my head. I can just be walking through. Like, it happens to me a lot in investigations. Just walking through, and I've scared people. Like, that there's no way you could have looked that up. It was never in the books. This is top secret type of shit. And I know in graphic detail. But it's not me. Like, I can't take the credit. I'm just the body that Spirit speaks through. You have that gift as well. It's not that we just know things and we're like super duper smart. It's just we have that direct connection to Spirit. It's a very special gift, and not everybody has it, but it's the hardest to learn and the hardest to explain. A lot of psychics have this. I feel, honestly, a lot of psychics have a mix of everything. Like, I can see spirits, and sometimes I can't. Sometimes I hear things, or sometimes I just see things in my head and not physically, or hear things in my head but not physically. I can write and communicate with spirit. Like, I can touch things and get visions. It's not like we come with just one gift, or if you put 5 psychics in a room, we're 5 very different people and 5 very different levels of gifts. No psychic medium is the same. And so I feel like this is one of your gifts, directly speaking to your mind in a way that only you can understand, and you as the translator have to get out of your body and figure out how to explain it, which is difficult. Ooh, you could be a brewer. You could make beer here, or whiskeys. Or you just make a nice, mean cocktail to make people relax and just be like, damn, this is good. You could make things from home. Could be a model, like I said, that sexy, woo, star quality. You could work in the fire department as well. Or you're just a public servant, is what it's saying. And again, for pile 1, I also got this youth counselor. Overall, you just have very sensitive, sweet vibes. You are a positive peacekeeper medium. So I would definitely watch pile 1. You have a lot of similarities. If you got a lot from this, I feel like you're also going to connect to pile 1. You don't have to. I'm just recommending it. I don't recommend very often that you go back and look at other piles, but this one is like hand in hand to go together. So I hope you liked it. If you did, please give me a thumbs up below. If you want more readings like this, please give me a thumbs up. If you're pulled to, hit the subscribe button and help my channel grow. I would appreciate it. No pressure. I'll see you next time. Bye, guys. Howdy doodle, pile number 3. You picked the cute blue Indian vibes, like India. I don't know why I'm thinking India, but I'm getting pulled to that. All right, are you ready? We're going to start with a deck that I haven't used in a while. It's not one of my favorites, but it's still a good one. The Divine Feminine Oracle. You don't have to be a feminine energy to connect to this. They still pick up masculine energies as well. It's just the title. It's basically a deck of goddesses. Ooh. Making me work for you, pile 3. Next is the Power of Love Activation deck. This deck always makes me smile because my mom bought it for me. It's the first deck I ever got. You know, I was kind of scared to tell my family what I wanted to do. And I told my mom first because she's a hippie. She's been a hippie my whole life. Very open. She'll listen. And I went to her and I told her what I wanted to do. And she took me to Barnes & Noble and bought me like 4 different decks. It's like, go forth and prosper. Like, no questions asked. No, like, really? Like, none of those looks awful. My mom is awesome. I wasn't sure what I expected her to say, but I definitely wasn't expecting her to be like, cool. What do we need? Like, what supplies do you need? Will you give me a reading? Like, she's more excited about it than I was. And here I'm like, I kind of want to read tarot, Mom. Cringing. And she's like, oh, really? Like, her eyes got big. I think that's probably the last thing she ever expected me to come out with. I'm kind of like her weird child anyway. Was always like very creative. Every school year they'd ask you what you wanted to be and I had a different answer every year. Next is the life purpose. I was always weird. She never knew what was going to come out of my mouth. So maybe that's why I was like slowly preparing her for the bomb. My dad, I don't really talk about it much. He's very religious. He's not against it. He wishes me well, but I highly doubt you'll ever catch my dad on my channel. Maybe. Maybe he watches. I doubt it. Divine Abundance is next. Almost ready, I promise. I don't at all. I told my grandma that that I do like talks about loving yourself and helping people through their problems. I do not utter the word tarot at all to my grandma. She she can't go anymore, but she went to church every week. She writes notes in her Bible. Religion is who she is, and if you sway off of it, she gets very upset. So I just, she's in her 90s, and I just let her think that I have a YouTube channel about self-help. I don't think my other grandparents know either. They live in Arkansas. Oh, I think I told them. They were just like, didn't know what to say. That's different. But again, I've always been the weird, different one. So nobody was like severely shocked. I think they feel like it's a phase though. They always think my shit's a phase. Alright, so let's start down here. Woo, Labyrinth. A lot of repeating cards, and I do shuffle these. Connecting to spirit. You have a strong connection to spirit. The elements. You could study Wicca. If you don't, you might want to look into it. You could have that. I'm getting those witchy vibes. There's nothing wrong with it. Happy love. You're all about raising elevations, self-love, coming home to yourself. Another mystic star. Yeah, you're definitely... Ooh, maybe I heard Salem. You could have roots to the Salem witch trials. Harmony in the home and great friendships. You're the star. Like you are the matriarch, patriarch of your family. You're very valued. You're very loved. You're very important within your group. People feel it. There's something gifted and special about you. You have a power about you that nobody can deny. I'm hearing that nobody can deny song. It's in my head right now. Yeah, you have great empathy. Very sensitive. You could be a medium empath here. You are somebody who takes action on the go. If you feel it, if you feel connected to it, you move towards it. You're somebody who's high energy, always moving, very in the present. You don't like to live in your past, and you don't like to look too far in your future. You're somebody who really likes to enjoy the moment and help other people. Like, I do feel like you're somebody who gets very annoyed when somebody's just recording it and not experience. Like, dude, you're here watching it. Why are you recording everything? Just experience it. I feel like you get very frustrated about people who don't live in the moment, or you're trying to help people be more. But you're somebody who also accepts other people, so it's not like you're going to take their phone or have a big conniption fit about it. You're just like, why do you record everything? You're like, you were here watching. Can't you just experience the moment? But yeah, you're all about harmony, keeping the environment soft and warm and comforting. That's why you're the star of all of your relationships. You're like a beacon. You keep everybody together, and you keep the waters calm as much as you can. Can't control everything in this life. Oh, this came out in the other pile too, I believe. Delusions are helping people, like, just because you're a lady doesn't mean you have to have this type of job, or just because you're a man you don't have to have this type of job, or just because you live here doesn't mean you gotta do that. Like, you help people separate themselves from expectations. And what do you want? This is the question you ask. How do you feel? What do you want? What do you see? And you help them go towards it and get out of delusions of things are going to get better in a relationship that isn't serving them. So you tell them, like, you're delusional. You know, this relationship is not serving you. It's toxic to your soul, and you're going to be so much better without it. Pulling people, taking those rose-colored glasses off, taking the blinders off and helping them see the truth. You're an individual. You stand out. You try not to. I don't feel like you like being the center of attention, but your natural power about you, your uniqueness, the comfortableness in your skin brings attention to you. People notice you whether you want to be noticed or not. Eyes turn to you when you walk in a room. Yeah, companionship. You help people. It's like you have a tribe. What I'm saying, like you collect people. I don't know if you like have a family, like an actual family you were born with that you're very close to, or you collect friends and they become family. Helping people make friends and helping people make love connections. You're about helping people find their soul tribe. Expansiveness. You expand their minds to their own possibilities. People come to you with very limited views and very limited thoughts about themselves, and you're just like, break out of that fucking box, break the glass ceiling. You can do what you want in this life, honey. You're one of those. Expand your mind, dream big. Nothing is impossible. These are your mottos and what you genuinely feel. Oh, my windblown hair. It's just tickling my neck. So crazy. I feel like we could have, we're definitely not going to have a tornado, but every few minutes there's a crazy ass wind. I was walking in it. It made me run a little bit. It was pushing you from behind. So my hair is a little crazy. This came out in all, maybe not pile 1, but came out in pile 2. Spiritual teacher. Life coach. Definitely getting that. Helping a relationship counselor. Helping people thrive on their own and bringing people together. You could work with crystals. You could be healing people through crystals. Or you're studying crystals. You could be studying how to be a shaman. Ways of healing holistically. You could also work and connect to animals. I'm hearing comfort care pet. I have a comfort care dog, so I 100% support this. Animals are so helpful to people who are going through traumas. And animals, I feel, rely on human connection as well. It's not just the humans connecting to animals, but it's the animal connecting to... It's a beautiful process. I just feel like maybe your companionship is helping people find the animal that's going to help them. Their comfort care animal. That's for some of you out there. And yay! My comfort care, I was lucky. My comfort care animal was one free and found me through fate. It's not like I went somewhere to get a comfort care animal. It's very rare that you get an animal for free who turns out to be this loving, beautiful... But my boyfriend's cousin, her dog had puppies. And a lot of them, and all that she asked was it went to somebody who loved them and had a good home. She didn't charge for any of the animals, which is very beautiful. And the only requirement is she had to make sure that the pets were going to be safe and cared for. So she said we could pick one out, and I picked her out. I named her Daisy before I even saw her. And the moment I saw her, she just ran to me, and we were like best buds. And to never even have seen each other before, I picked her out through a picture. And I didn't go see her until she was already picked. We did it by color on the collars. And it was just strange how, she walked to me. They got out of the car and she walked right to me. There's my mom. Hi, Mom. I've been waiting for you. It's a connection. It's just, maybe that's what you do. Maybe that's why I'm compelled to tell you this story. I'm being pulled to tell you, she also said if you couldn't take care of it, if it didn't work out, if you moved and you weren't allowed to have pets, please bring the animal back to me. A lot of the animals did come back to her, and she had 8 dogs, bless her heart, but she had land and she took care of them, and maybe you're somebody who also runs a shelter as well. I never returned Daisy. I'm no way, she's mine for life, sorry. But I take her to visit. The mystic of divine love. Love is divine. I am nothing except love. You're very loving. It's all about the love in the situation. Helping people love themselves. Helping people have a support system. Shekinah. I don't know how to say these goddesses' names. The presence of the divine feminine. At the center of everything there is light, and I am that light. Yes, my darling, you are a light worker. For sure. Saint Bridget, Our Lady of Exalted Light. Forgive endless, because the light is without end. My soul is all I need. You are, as much as you are about spiritual connections, animal connections, soul family, you can 100% survive by yourself in your own company. You're a very strong, confident in your own skin, self-love, self-acceptance. Like, you don't get shook. You are strong. You have a strong foundation. People realize that. And again, referencing, you are a lantern. That strength, that star quality you have, people who are in great need are drawn to that strength. I want to be like them. You are a motivator. People look up to you, which is beautiful. Teresa of Avila, Our Lady of the Inferior Life. I trust the answers I find within me. I know that the presence of love is real. Again, just like Pile 2, it's like Spirit tells you things and you just know it. You could be psychic, precognitive, or you're just a good investigator. You can read people so well. You can look across the room and be like, that person doesn't have any friends, is feeling very alone, low vibes. That person over there is stuck in their ego and that very negative part of themselves and is probably being a jerk to others. Not that you're hating on them. That one over there is pregnant and doesn't know it. You can read people so well because you have that connection to spirit. And also so you know who to help. You could be a school teacher. I feel like you'd be great with children, helping them love themselves and work as a class. Like, I'm definitely seeing a kindergarten teacher here. You could be a drug counselor, helping people through that darkness, being that lantern through their addiction so they can walk through it. You could be a priest or a nun, or this is like somebody very spiritual. It doesn't have to belong to any faith. You could be a high priest, high priestess, empress, emperor, small business owner. Or this also came out a few times. You could work in the fire department. I'm just getting overall. Fire departments mostly are volunteer based. You volunteer to help your community and you help give your time. Oh, hiccups. I hope this was helpful and it called to you. A lot of things came out. You're just very vibrant, very strong, very general-like, and hello, we need more of those on this earth. So thank God you're here, pile number 3. I appreciate you. You're probably reading me as I'm reading this to you. Because you have that psychic awareness. Hey, that's okay. I'm comfortable in my skin too. You can judge me a little. It's alright. I'm not going to give a her about it. I have flaws too. Anyway, I love you all so much. If this resonated, or if you want more of these in the future, please give me a thumbs up below. If you're feeling inclined to, please hit the subscribe button and help my channel grow. I would appreciate it so much, but no pressure. I'm not going to force you. I love you all. Be well out there. Stay safe, and I will see you next time. Bye, guys.